Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. Happy Sunday, happy Father's Day. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Today, we're going to get into a mailbag video. But before we get into that, Chris Jent has been hired as an assistant coach under Frank Vogel. He's been with the Hawks and will serve as Darvin Ham's top assistant coach. So Ham has figured out who his right-hand man is, and that is the all-known Chris Jent, who will be coming on board. Jent, of note, did coach under Mike Budenholzer as well before he got that Bucks job. So that's somewhat significant. You look at his coaching stops, he's kind of been all over the map with some different roles, and now he becomes a top assistant under Darvin Ham. He has been a head coach on the for the Bakersfield Jam as well, so that's pretty interesting. Also, so you got that news out of the way. We'll get to some mailbag questions in a moment. But, hey, we reached 46,000 subs. You guys are the best. We promised shout-outs a few days ago, so appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel, and we will give specific shout-outs right here. If you haven't subbed already, be sure to subscribe to the Lakers Report. Chris Ortiz, Gregory, LBJ Productions, Dominic, Bobby Cakes. We got RJ Quick, Two Run DMC, Marmar Waters, D Physique Farmer, and then Chris Morocco. Appreciate it for you guys subscribing. If you haven't subbed already, be sure to subscribe for daily videos. All right, let's get to these mailbag questions. Eric Castillo, would Jalen Brunson be a good backup for Westbrook? Yes, but Jalen Brunson is going to be a starter wherever he plays, whether that's returning to Dallas or if a team like Detroit or the Knicks look to overpay him. Now, Jalen Brunson is largely expected to stay with the Mavericks. He proved he could be a sidekick next to Luka Doncic in the playoffs. The Mavericks gave him enough opportunities to kind of run the offense, so I don't think this is likely. Plus, where's the money coming from, right? Like, unless you trade Anthony Davis or Russell Westbrook, you can't even afford Jalen Brunson because at minimum he's getting $20 million per year. It might be closer to 25 because he's gotten better and better and better every year as the numbers outline. And what also outlines that he just scored almost 22 a game in the playoffs and played really, really well. Helped carry the load the first 3 games of the Jazz series, too, while Luka Doncic was working out a calf strain. He averaged 28 points in that series, and then throughout the playoffs averaged almost 22. So Jalen Brunson, I don't expect this going anywhere. Sure, in theory, he'd be like a great 6-man, but he will be a starter wherever he plays. The ideal Lakers big 3 is LeBron, AD, and fill in the blank. If you still think it's Russell Westbrook, you can type him. If you think it's a guy like Jalen Brunson or another player, let me know who is that third piece to an ideal Lakers big 3. JJC Boom, can we trade Westbrook for first round pick just like Denver did to Green? You're not getting a first for Westbrook if that's what you're hoping for. So I don't think that's very likely. Obviously, if you can move Russ and free up that cap space, I think that's valuable, but I just think at the end of the day, it's just not that likely. I mean, teams don't want to take on his $47 million that he's set to make this year, so I'd be surprised if he gets traded at this point, especially if you don't include your own first to move him. Do you want the Lakers to trade Russ? If you do, like the video. If you don't, then type no and comment why. Let me know why you want to keep Russell Westbrook down in the comment section, but get those thumbs up going in the on this video if you want Russ to get dealt. King Maine, THT, and Kendrick Nunn, the Lakers' second 2023 pick, package to Denver for Bryn Forbes, Jeff Green, and Austin Rivers. Well, Jeff Green just picked up his $4.5 million option, so factor that into play here. If you could get a guy like Jeff Green, I'd be interested. Rivers is a decent backup point. Forbes can shoot it a little bit as well. But even all of that, do you want to trade THD and Nunn, a couple of younger players, for some older vets like Jeff Green? I don't know, King Man. I think I would probably pass on this one. Dominic 5, what's a realistic contract we can sign Gary Harris to? I think he's like a mid-level guy. I think he could get a mid-level type of contract, $8 to $10 million per year. I think is the range for him. His last contract was 18 to 20 million, but I don't think he's getting that anymore. He's flatlined a little bit, but really good defensive player, decent enough shooter. I think he could be a mid-level type of 3-and-D player. Maybe he gets overpaid by a team in free agency. I find that unlikely. I tend to think he'll take maybe a little less and get back to a contending team because he played for Orlando, and they suck, and he'd probably try to get back to that winning organization. Maybe the Lakers are a team that could get him. I think he'd be a nice little piece, a guy who could start or come off the bench. Now, we're racing our main NBA channel and Golden State Warriors today to 3,000 followers on Rumble. Help us out. Go subscribe over there. It's 100% free, rumble.com/LakersTV. Warriors today has about 500 advantage on us. NBA now about 400. Help us out. Let's catch up. Support the Lakers Report over on Rumble, rumble.com/LakersTV. Daily videos over there in addition to right here on YouTube. David, is the Lakers trade Westbrook to get KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? Why would the Wizards want to reverse that trade? That's basically what you're asking. I don't think there's any chance that happens. Obviously, the salaries don't even line up to begin with. KCP's, $14 million or whatever. Westbrook's at $47 million. But I don't think there's any doubt that the Lakers did miss the depth of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Kyle Kuzma and guys like that. I do think that is the case, but why would Washington bring back Russ? That just doesn't make any sense. KCP last year, pretty good year, 13 points, 39% from three, and that's kind of what you were getting when he was within L.A., and that's why I never understood the Russ trade. It was such a panic move to me to trade all your role players, to go all in on Russell Westbrook, along with LeBron and AD as the third member of your big three. Obviously, it did not work out very well. Kingman again, okay, what about signing Dennis Schroder back to back up Westbrook? Last time they were together, he was a sixth man of the year, and I would love Gary Harris also. I know I mentioned him before, but I bet he would be a great two-guard. Yeah, Dennis Schroder is the ideal backup point guard, I would say. His last year with the Lakers didn't go as planned. He turned down that big contract mid-season. Obviously, he had to take a lot less to go play for Boston, but played pretty well. Then he finished out the year with the Houston Rockets. But I like Dennis Schroder. Good scorer. Can come off the bench. He can be a combo guard, or he can run point. I'll tell you what, I would have rather kept him than trade for max contract Russell Westbrook. I'll tell you that right now. Would you sign Dennis Schroder as a backup? Type S for sign, type P for pass. I don't know what his market will be. I think he'll get more than the $5.9 million he got last year from Boston, but at the same time, I don't know. I tend to think he's going to go elsewhere. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are using hashtag Lakers to get onto our next mailbag video. Appreciate everybody for commenting and for subscribing and all that stuff. Thanks again for 46,000 subs. Mailbag video coming soon. Hashtag Lakers. We'll see you then here on the Lakers Report.